Okay. Yeah, we're gonna go through all of them. I'm gonna go through all the champions. What?
Tell me.
We're gonna go through all the champions on the list. And all the champions that are currently in the game. And we're gonna tier them. Kind of sucks that I can't open a new screenshot, a new notepad, because I want to have two open. Okay. Okay, let's go through the beginning. Yeah, dude, Worlds is coming. I'm gonna go through every single champion in the game and tier them one by one. And I'll give you my reasoning for why they suck or why they're insane. All right, let's start with number 1. Yeah, actually, plans could be really hype this year. Okay. Okay, first up, guys, we have Aatrox. So Aatrox kind of blows right now. We would definitely classify him as a top laner. Not really sure where you'd want to play Aatrox, or like when you'd want to play Aatrox, when stuff like Jax, Irelia, Gnar are available. Like, I don't think he's good. I don't think we'll see him at Worlds. Let's put him on E. Don't think that's too difficult to justify. Next up is Ari. I think Ari is like is a really underrated pick right now. I think she deserves to be at least in C tier. Because I think she's got good wave clear. She does decent to some matchups. She's a pretty safe champion. I think E is probably too high for Aatrox still. Yeah, but E is the lowest that I'm gonna go, so that's where I'm gonna put him. So I think Ari is worth to put on C tier. Akali really blows right now. I honestly don't see why you'd ever play Akali. I'd definitely put her on the lowest tier of mid, and Aatrox also is a jungler, so I'll put him on the lowest tier of jungle as well. There's like almost no reason you'd want to play Akali. Alistar. Now, Alistar I actually think is an S tier support. Whether he's the best S tier support or maybe just like one of them is a different question. But he didn't get changed. He's still like a really strong engaged champion. There isn't really much that he doesn't do. And he's a pretty safe blind pick. Akali's working as a Gnar counter. I don't see that. I don't think people are going to play Akali when there's Jace. But anyway, to Alistar. I think Alistar deserves to be S, maybe high A. I actually think he's S because he gives you great engage, really insane team fighting and everything. Let's move on. Amumu, I actually don't think he's that bad. I think he can be played into some tank matchups. Highest of D tier. I wouldn't put him higher than D though. Maybe at the very bottom of C. But he's just okay. He has good clear. His ultimate is really useful in team fights, but it's not a hard CC. Amumu could C play. Will he C? Probably not. Anivia, I mean, I think she's just a really weak control mage, but she's not horrible. I'd put her at the bottom of C or the top of D tier. Annie, I don't think we're gonna see her being played at Worlds. D tier for sure. Support, she's also D tier, because she's good against some of the engaged supports, not against the disengaged supports like Janna, but no one's really blinding it anyway. So I think that D tier support and D tier support is worth it. Ashe, I think Ashe is at the top of B or at the bottom of A, because of how strong she is. In my previous tier list, I had her as A- tier, but I'm gonna bump her up to A tier, or at least the bottom of B. But as more AD carries come in, we're going to separate it. Aurelion Sol, I actually think is B tier. I think he's actually totally fine to be played right now. Gotta keep him there. Azir got some buffs on this patch. You guys didn't see. This is a decent buff, plus the buff that he got on 715. I think that we might see some more Azir. Where I would put him, probably in C. I think that's a good place to put him there. I think C is fairly strong of a place to put him. The thing is about Azir is that he takes a long time to scale, and he's strong in the late game, but he doesn't have very good matchups right now. Bard, probably B tier, because he does decent. He's good engage against immobile carries. Does decent into some matchups in support, like Alistar, like Tahm Kench. Even Braum can be okay. But I kind of don't feel good enough to put him higher than that. Next up is Blitz. I'd put him at the bottom of A, because he's a good Thresh counter. He's a good Janna counter. And Thresh is an S tier support, and Janna's A tier or B tier. So having Blitz there is also always good. Would we classify Brand as a mid laner or as a support, guys? I mean, I think that's a question that we need to ask ourselves. Yeah, I guess if we classify him as a support, he's C. He has better laning than Annie, more burst damage. He's like a better he's like an okay Zyra. I think the best thing that we can see out of Brand being better is this change, which is a buff to Brand for sure. So maybe he's gonna be a bit better, but how much better? Probably not much. I feel comfortable putting him in C, because he's only counterpick anyway. And Licorice isn't going to Worlds, so it doesn't matter. I think Braum is high B, or no, he's definitely low A. He's a solid counterpick support. He's a solid counter. Yeah, I'll put him on E tier. I don't like him at all, but I have to list him because otherwise people are going to complain. I think having him as Braum as an A tier support is good, because he's a good counterpick. He's good defensive support, but he's not a good roamer, and he doesn't provide much roam pressure like Blitz, Alistar, Rakan, Thresh, Bard. So that's why he's so low. But he's decent to Alistar, he's decent to Thresh. Doesn't have much lane presence, but that shield is always useful. I think Caitlyn is high C, low B. Because she's got a great laning phase. Actually, I think the laning phase alone is going to keep her on low B, but the thing is that she doesn't scale as well, and I don't like her matchups into a lot of the AD carries right now. Like, I'd almost rather have Tristana than Caitlyn, or a Kog'Maw or a Jinx rather than Caitlyn. I think Camille is definitely a high B or low A top laner. She's a great counter pick, she's a great hyper carry, but with the prevalence of like Jax and Jax and Renekton and Shen, she might not be as good. She does scale quite well, but you don't ever really want to blind her. So let's go high B. I think high B is a fair place to put Camille. I'm happy with that. Cassio, I spoke about why I think she's A now instead of S, and the reason is if we take a look at the changes to her here, she took a big nerf in her ability power. Sorry, in her E, which now only breaks even at 250 AP. Now you might be thinking, wow, 250 AP is not that much. Like I could get that pretty easily. In a way, you're right, but at the same time, you have to remember that a lot of Cassiopeias were going the Abyssal Mask build and not Roa. So Abyssal Mask didn't give you any AP. So it actually is a nerf to the Abyssal Mask build. And when did Cassio ever go Abyssal Mask? Against Orianna and Syndra, which were her weak matchups before. So she can still go Abyssal Mask, she's just going to do less damage. And late game, she's still going to be a beast, and she's still going to have strong laning. But is she S tier still? Probably not. I think she's high A, or at the very bottom of S. But I think this is pretty good. Yeah, so her good matchups got better, but her bad matchups got worse, which should be the way that most mid laners are. But the thing is, what made her S tier is that even in her bad matchups, she was fine. But now there's an actual trade-off, which is why I think Cassio drops to A from S. Cho'Gath, I think he's A tier. A tier top lane and high C or low B jungler. I don't like him as a jungler. I like him as a top laner, but not all the time. He's, I think, situational at best in a lot of situations. And he takes too long to scale, but he's just good. He's great in the meta. He didn't get nerfed this patch, so he's still going to be good. Corki, I mean, I like him middle of B. He's still a safe mid laner. Does okay into... Actually, I would actually put Corki on low A. Lower end of A sounds good to me. Actually, wait, there's an easier way to do this. I could just do a Google Doc. Wouldn't it just look nicer? Not a Google Doc, an Excel sheet. Yeah, I think all of this on an Excel sheet would look a lot nicer. Wouldn't it? We could do tables and shit. It's like top, mid, jungle, AD support. Like it'd look professional and shit, huh? All right, let's try this. Nah, I actually don't think so. I think Notepad's just a better place to do it. I could make the final product on there if you guys all want to see it. Corki, I think he's a safe mid laner. He does okay into some matchups, but not amazing. Keeping him on A tier, I think, is fair. More so than anything. Darius, he does counter Camille, but he maybe low C or high D. Because he's got a great laning phase, but he kind of gets kited a lot. I think he's fine there. I think Diana is underrated, but not amazing. Middle C. There he is. Diana. I think middle C is fair for her. Are we going to run the assumption that Dr. Mundo is a top laner and not a mid laner, jungler? Because as a top laner, I think he's C. And as a jungler, I think he's like low D. I don't like him too much right now. Like, I think that other tanks are just better. But he has some decent matchups now. Draven, yeah, probably both. Yeah, he's good against Rumble, but that's about it. I think, again, other tanks are just better. So we'll have to see. I mean, if I'm going to have to play, like, even think about him as a jungler, then I think low D is the right place to put Dr. Mundo. Draven, tier D, D for Draven, but reality, I think he's situational. Only Draven players are going to pick Draven. And he does dominate lane phase, but besides laning phase, the only thing he brings is damage. Echo, counter pick only. There are some Echo players at Worlds. I'm confident to put him in B. I think he's fine as a B tier mid laner. Low B for sure. Counter pick only, but he's good. Elise, S tier. Because she's the best early game jungler in the game. She's pretty much a legitimate win condition in which she can accomplish everything she wants to in the early game. A lot of people criticized me for putting Elise S tier, but I know that a lot of teams that do play Elise, or even wish that they could play Elise the way that she's played, they pretty much just win the game off early game alone. She's such an oppressive champion. Against what would you pick Echo? Like Syndra, Corki, Aurelion Sol, like those are the Talia. It's kind of those champions. The thing is that we did the math on Elise here. I did it on my last video if you want to go check that out. If you go 26 ability power, you actually don't feel any difference until rank 4 of this ability. And that's a 26 AP, which you get from runes alone. So imagine if you actually get more from your masteries. You get like about 30 plus like runic echoes. You really don't feel a change. And repel, you're not maxing anyway, so this isn't even a nerf until like level 14. So throughout the entire time that Elise is strong, she's actually not been changed at all. So I think the nerf doesn't change shit about Elise. Evelynn, I think she's a cheesy pick. Clear Love. If Clear Love is at Worlds, we might see some Evelynn. She does bully around a lot of the tank junglers in the jungle, so we might see her. I'm comfortable putting her on C tier because just counter pick / late pick only. But we could actually see it at Worlds. There are some players. Ezreal. I think it's a B tier jungler. It's Nidalee on cocaine. In terms of invading and dueling power, it's really, really strong. I'd like to see it there. Mid lane Ezreal, I actually think mid lane Ezreal is pretty good now. So I'm going to put him on C tier because, again, it's only counter pick. I'm almost certain it does good into Lucian too. I'm almost certain that it does good into Lucian as well. So I mean, I don't have the data to make this claim. It's just an assumption that I'm making. And if I had to use the data that I have, which he's really buffed with his Q buff, and he does good in a solo lane with experience, and in 1v1s like that, he's also safe as hell. I think he's a fine C tier placement. AD Ezreal, not AP Ezreal. Fiddlesticks, I mean, as a support, maybe like D or high E. I don't know. As a jungler, I really think it's either low D or high E. Definitely higher than Aatrox. So let's just do that. Fiora did get buffs, but Bramble Vest is a thing. I'll put her above Darius and Mundo on C, but not more. AD carry Ezreal is just like, I guess, below Draven. I don't think it's good. I think that crit is way too good as a stat. You really always want to be having a crit AD carry. So D tier probably where you want him. Fizz took some buffs recently. I don't know if it was this patch. No, it was not this patch, but it was the last few patches. Counter pick only. But like every situation that you'd want to pick Fizz, you'd probably want to play Echo. But like players like Faker, they have played Fizz. So I think C tier is a good place to play him. I wouldn't play Fizz in any other role. I won't consider him in any other role. I think Galio is an A tier mid laner because of his flex potential. And maybe at the bottom of A or the top of B. Yeah, top of B sounds fair because he has quite a bit of counter matchups, but he's fine in the situations that you want to play him in. He's much better as a mid laner than a top laner, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. But he can be played as a top lane. Gangplank. I think bottom of B, top or middle of C. I like him over Darius. And mid lane, I mean, I wouldn't put him higher than D tier. Don't think he's a good mid laner. He's decent counter to Galio in both top and mid lane. So he's really strictly counter pick. And not just a counter pick, but like one counter pick for any matchup. And I also think that in order to be a good Gangplank player, you need to be like really good. Okay, Garen, you're on E tier. I think this isn't a champion. Gnar, okay, I really think Gnar is S tier. I think even in its bad matchups, it's strong. It can be played into Jace, into Yasuo, into Camille. If you're playing against Longzhu, Gnar is not an S tier pick, because Khan is going to pick Jace and shit on you. Yeah, Jace is good into the Gnar, but like I said, I think Gnar is useful at all stages of the game. He's a strong split pusher, a strong team fighter, a strong tank, a good initiator. He's like one of the best tanks on the patch. He did get a slight nerf, so I will actually put him second on S tier, and I'll show you who the first S tier when we get to him on top lane, but I'm happy to keep him on S tier. Jensen and Faker are both Echo players. Yeah, they will play it into Syndra. Gragas, I think he's still an A tier jungler, and probably around B tier top laner because of the flex potential. But I'm not really sure about the E hitbox. I haven't tested it yet. It could be a big deal, but I think Gragas is still consistently good in Gauge, and I don't think the nerfs do change that too much. I like where he is currently, and I don't mind keeping him where he is right now in the tier list. Graves is a jungler, but he's not a very good one. For every situation that you want to play Graves, just pick Ezreal or Nidalee. They do just a lot more than Graves, so or even Kha'Zix. Maybe bottom of C, top of D. Hecarim is also a jungler. Not in any situation that you want to pick Hecarim, you got to think to myself, why do I want Hecarim? Bottom of D. Assuming the Heimerdinger is a mid laner, I actually don't think he's that terrible. Bottom of C, top of D maybe. Let's do that. I like that, fine. Illaoi, strictly a top laner. She will be our first D tier top laner, where she's strictly a counter pick, but only to certain tanks. And like, if for every situation that you want to play Illaoi, there's champions like Jax, there's champions like Nasus, Kled, Jace, Gangplank. Even Gangplank are just like, I think that Illaoi is not as good. Irelia also, I would put him at D tier. I think it's just a counter pick. It's a lane counter to Gnar, but Gnar outscales. Like, again, why would you play Irelia when there are like other picks in the meta, like Jax? Okay, here's the controversial one. I think Ivern is B tier and not A tier yet. I think that the buffs are nice. Ardent Sensor being a thing and Athene's being strong are nice for him. He's decent to some jungle matchups. We're definitely going to see Ivern at Worlds. Guarantee we're going to see Ivern at Worlds. Whether we like it or not, he's going to be played at Worlds. Janna. Janna's next. I like her on B. I don't know. I don't like her too much on A. I think she's a counter pick. Maybe bottom of A and top of B, but like Bard is good into Janna, which is why I'd put him ahead of Janna. And like Blitz and Thresh and Rakan can be good into Janna. So in competitive, she's not as strong as people think. Jarvan is, in my opinion, the best top laner on the patch. He's got the best flex potential, good engage, great laning phase, good scaling, does a lot and with not needing a lot. He's, again, the best flex right now as well because he's a top tier jungler. Did get some nerfs, but in terms of like looking at the difference in terms of everything got nerfed, I think Jarvan got away pretty good. His early game is still going to be really strong. He gets priority in the lane. A lot of top laners agree with me when I spoke to them that Jarvan is S tier. And with that being said, I'd like to keep him there. I think he really deserves to be up there. Jax. So I rethought my stance on Jax, and I think that he definitely deserves to be B tier. I think he's a strong carry and has decent matchups into like Cho, into Jarvan, into Camille as well. So B tier for sure. There are some Jax players at Worlds as well. so we might see him there. Jace, bottom of A for top because of Khan mainly, and he's got a legitimate. No, actually, I would put him top of B. I like top of B for Jace. Yeah, I like top of B. No, I don't even like that either. It's good into Jax, so I'll put him there. I also think it's good into Camille, so I'll swap places. So I like this much more. Yeah, this is nice. This is good. Jay Rodrigo seemed really lackluster recently compared to Seju Greg. Not necessarily because immobile champions get fucked by Jarvan just as hard, and he has a better early game. Jhin, I'm of the opinion that Jhin isn't totally terrible, but is he good at all? No, I put him probably C tier. I like C tier for Jhin. I also put Jinx on C tier because I think she has some good matchups. No, actually, no. Jinx is not C tier. I think she's B tier. Kalista. I've changed my stance on Kalista because her laning actually didn't get hit at all, and her engage is still solid. She's still an S tier support. Mid laner. Fuck. She's still an S tier AD carry. Because she's good with all the S tier and A tier supports, and she's good against a lot of the carries right now. Yeah, she gets outscaled per se, but good Kalista players are still going to take the game home pretty easily. Great objective control, and I'm kind of happy to put her on S again. Karma support, it's like, I think she's pretty meh. Maybe the Spell Thief change that we talked about for Brand might change Karma's position in the lane, but I don't really like her too much as a support. I also don't really like her too much as a mid laner. I'd put her at the bottom of C. Next up, Karthus. I mean, assuming that we're considering Karthus as a mid laner, I put him on D tier. I don't like him too much. Don't think we're going to see too much of Karthus. He's like really situational, more than anything. Kassadin is a good B tier champion. I think he's got a good matchup into like Corki, into Galio, into Aurelion Soul, into Echo, which are all A and B tier. So I'm fine putting Kassadin on B. I mean, Katarina is ridiculously situational. I'd put her above Gangplank, but yeah, I don't really see too many situations where Katarina's like, where you have a Katarina is like, wow, I'm really happy to have a Katarina here. Now, Kayle is a tricky one because lately I've seen Kayle being played in 4 roles: top, mid, jungle, and support. No AD carry Kayle, it's bad. So, primarily, I'd assume that Kayle is a top laner. Okay? Because of her pushing power, and she's got some decent matchups into tanks. I would put her maybe low C for top, like maybe above Darius or Dr. Mundo. Yeah, Kayle. As a jungler, put him bottom of D. As a mid laner, bottom of D as well. I don't see any situations where she's good, and support also bottom of D. The ult can be useful, but besides that, no. Kayn. I don't think we're going to see any lane Kayn at all after the changes. So he's just a jungler, and I really think that he's good into a lot of tanks. So top of C he goes. Kennen. As a top laner, he's strictly a lane counter, so I think bottom of B is good for Kennen. As a support now, I think there's situations where he could be good as well. So middle of B is really good for Kennen. By the way, you guys can keep asking me questions while this is going on. Writing in the chat. It's good to see people talking about this. Maybe you agree, disagree. I'll always look over at chat and see what you guys are doing. But let's try to keep it relevant to the tier list for now, and I can answer all your questions after. Kha'Zix. Kha'Zix is a jungler. Where do I put him? I think bottom B, middle of C. I think he can do good into Ezreal. He's good into Lee as well. So let's just preliminarily put him here. He's a really strong early game jungler, but does fall off. I mean, we're gonna get to Lulu, where we're going alphabetically. Lulu is here, and we're here. Kindred's a bot, not even a champion. Well, that's the thing. It is going to be slightly strict, so we're going to rearrange them as we get there. The order of the champions. So let's just try to get everything listed before we worry about the order. Yeah, so sad what they did. Honestly, Kindred got really fucked over. Free my boy Kindred. Kled. I mean, there are some Kled players in Worlds right now, so we might see Kled. Yeah, Kindred is definitely better than Atrox. I would definitely say Kled is B tier, but where in B tier, I'm not so sure. Because he's got decent engage, good split pushing, he's really hard to kill. We'll return to Kled later. Kog'Maw, I like Kog'Maw at the bottom of A. He's a strong carry, scales well. As a mid laner, I would put Kog'Maw like somewhere in the middle of B. This is a competitive tier list RF Legendary for like top tier competition, so obviously you don't know much about it. So I understand why you're confused, but don't worry about it. We'll guide you through it. I like Kog'Maw at the top, like in the middle of A. Strong carry, scales well, decent into Tristana, decent into Sivir, decent into Caitlyn. He's fine overall. We haven't gotten to Tristana yet. We're going alphabetically, guys, as you can see. I do stand by what I said, that LeBlanc is A tier, and I'm gonna keep her right here in the bottom of A. Yeah, no problem, RF. We'll get you sorted, man. Don't worry. Because I think LeBlanc has bad matchups into all three of these A-tier champions, and then she's just like okay into Orianna and Syndra. She's great if you play around her with a jungler, and I like her on A. Just gonna keep her there. Next up is Lee. Now, LS was talking a little bit about Lee. A lot of junglers are actually going to want to try Lee, and I think Lee is actually a good matchup into Ezreal. I've tried the matchup, actually feels good for Lee. Like, early on, the Ezreal kind of shits on you, but at 6, you just one-shot him. So, top of B. Yeah, he did get a buff. Doesn't really help too much in terms of his damage. But a nice shield extra. I mean, it's not that big of a nerf, but it's there. It's something, you know? Like, it's nothing significant. Leona did get buffs recently, but, like, in every situation that Leona is good, Alistar, Rakan are just better. So let's keep her on C. Yeah, but Ez can't dodge Lee Q. If you jump to him and then kick him, you can't dodge the Q. So Lissandra, let's assume that primarily she's a mid laner, and at that point she's only counterpick. I wouldn't put her higher than C. And for top lane, I really think that she's garbage. So, just pink ward the Q. I think D tier is good for Liss. Lucian is for sure A tier. But where on A, maybe just above Corki? Yeah. I like this. I like Lucian above Corki, behind Cassio, A tier. Did get some nerfs to his E. Until level 13, it is a nerf. After level 13, when you have max E, it's the same. So his laning did get nerfed a bit, but he's still going to be great for skirmishes. Like him on A tier, I think he's great priority champion. A lot of good Lucian players at Worlds as well. So we're going to see a lot of him. Lulu, I think B is good because she just provides shields but no real utility. Like, she doesn't provide disengage. Lucian on AD carry list. I mean, I hate trying to justify where Lucian is because I think he's pretty garbage. Let's put him on here. Wait, what BC Bork fix? Did they change it here? They didn't change anything. They didn't do any bug fixes. Where did that change? That's an interesting bug. No one plays him, but a lot of supports at Worlds are Bard players, so we actually might see him. Lux. Are we going to assume that Lux is primarily a mid laner or a support? Because I've seen support Lux, and I've also seen mid lane Lux. I actually don't think mid lane Lux is too horrible. She's good against a lot of the control mages and hyper carries who get caught out because they get like one shot. So we're gonna say she's primarily a mid laner. Let's rank her first. I think here is good to put Lux, and support Lux, maybe D tier. I'm gonna put Lux over Annie and Kale. Jungle Lulu. Oh shit, yeah, I forgot. Let's put her C tier. Yeah. So I think that Bard is good into Janna, which is why I'm putting him just ahead of Janna. When we're trying to compare two champions to each other, it's also good to understand the matchup between each other. For example, why is Jace higher than Camille and Jax? Because Jace is good into Camille and Jax. So that's kind of my justification. Why is Cassio ahead of Lucian and Corki here? Because Cassio is good into all of these, Lucian is good into all of these, Corki is good into these, and Galio is good into this. Does that make sense? Like, within the tier, it's also important to understand the matchups between each other, and that's kind of how you can rate them. Okay, I'm just going to assume Malphite's a top laner, but he's a pretty shit one. Like, for every situation that you want Malphite, like, why? So, yeah. So here's the thing, right? Fiora is good into Gangplank. It's actually good into Darius. I never saw the Kale matchup. It's fine to Mundo. But Fiora's C tier because she got buffs, but I don't think she's that good. I think Malphite is like... Yeah, why would you ever want Malphite on your team? Like, I don't honestly see any reason why Malphite's good. I don't think he's a bot champion like Garen, Aatrox, and Akali. But maybe here. Like, Malphite's actually a somewhat counter to Jace, which is kind of funny. Yeah, but the thing is that Galio is strong here because he's a flex pick. Flex picks are always going to be ranked higher because you can always pick them and then swap them around. Yeah, but how many teams are actually going to pick full AD? I think Malphite, actually, I could see him being top the D because all these champions are kind of shit. But Malphite's like the only one that's slightly less shit. We're going to assume that Malzahar is only played mid right now because support Malzahar is pretty bad. Malzahar is like a really fringe pick who has some good matchups, but not many. I think at the middle of C is fine for Malz. Maokai, I think he's a great top laner, and he's a decent jungler, like just above Ivern on B tier. And top lane, he's a good flex pick as well, and he's just a safe champion that can do like anything you want from it. Next up, after Maokai, is Master Yi. Assuming that he's just a jungler, he kind of falls into like the hard farming jungler. I'd put him above here, Master Yo-Yo. I think that's fine. Assuming that Misfortune is only going to be played AD carry, but I can't just assume that, and I'll explain why in a second. I think she's like not complete shit because she's good against Immobile. And the thing is that if we take a look at this buff here, the Frostfang got slightly buffed, so she actually might be decent in lane against some supports. So maybe she's like an okay support. Like, I'd put her above Annie for sure, but she does need CC to work. Mordekaiser, fringed pick, counter pick, above Malphite. In top lane, Jungle, he's kind of like D tier. Mid lane, he's also kind of like D tier. I'd put him above Gangplank. I also don't like Mordekaiser in right now. Morgana, I think A tier. Definitely an A tier support. I wouldn't see her any other way because she's good into like Braum, Blitz, Alistar, Thresh, and Rakan in some situations. Where's Mordekaiser AD carry? I'm not putting that. Sorry. Nami is next up. I think C is fine for Nami, above Karma. Nasus as a top laner is actually a lot better than people expect. He's actually a fringe counter pick. I'd maybe put him here in C. We might see some Nasus at Worlds. Who wins Mortar versus Vlad in the mid lane? Dude, honestly, I really have no idea. Nautilus support is not better than Leona. And top laner, he's like not better than any tank. Let's just put him at the bottom of C. Nidalee as a jungler, I think is just like is B tier above Ivern but behind Maokai. We might see some Nidalee at Worlds as well. If this is for comp, then keep it unlisted. No, I have to list Sona, but yeah, this is for competitive. I said, does it not kind of counter Trist? Not really. I don't think Hook supports counter Trist at all, from what I know. Nocturne, assuming that he's only going to be played jungler, is again another farm jungler. Maybe just slightly worse than Hecarim. No, I mean, for every situation that you want Nautilus, wouldn't you want like a Galio, a Gragas, or a Poppy? More. Like I feel like all those tanks are just better. Maybe I could see Nautilus being higher than Kayle, even though Kayle does good into Nautilus, just because like as a pick. Like I mean, yeah, but he lanes safe, but he's not as safe. You guys think Nidalee? No, C tier champions are not bad. When you start getting to D and E, they start getting worse. And I'll explain like the key later as to how to figure this out. Ornn is disabled for Worlds, so we're going to get rid of it. But not. I think he's mid C, mid-ish, lower C. Next up, Nunu. I actually think we're going to see a lot more Nunu as a jungler. I think bottom of B is a good place to put Nunu. He counters a lot of the tank junglers. He counters Ivern. So we're going to see Nunu, I think, at Worlds for sure. Let's assume that Olaf is probably the only jungler. The only going to be played as a jungler. Like, why would you play? Yeah, Graves is C because Tarzan isn't going to Worlds. So, I mean, who cares? The only Graves, the best Graves Slayer isn't at Worlds, so no one's gonna play Graves. I think Olaf. Would you guys say that he's like lower C? Yeah, Graves is bad, but I mean, look at this, right? C or B? I like him on C for sure, Tarzan. I'm not sure about B, because I feel like every situation that I want an Olaf, there are so many junglers that I'd just rather have. And with Jarvan being good, like, Jarvan really cucks Olaf. So, I'd say over Cho. Yeah, over Cho is nice. I think just here is just because he snowballs really hard. And he's good into Elise. Maybe that's just enough to put him there. Next up, Orianna, S tier. For sure, S tier. I think this champion is so stupidly strong at every stage in the game. Great laning, great team fighting, great scaling, great burst, great consistent damage, good shielding. With Lucian and Cassio nerfed, Cassio now can't go Abyssal Mask. She's still going to be really strong. And I think Orianna is too strong. I will change. Lucian with Ezreal. The thing is, don't worry too much about these right now. I'm going to fix these up later. We're going to go through everything together. We're going to do this together, guys. We are a team. We start fighting now, it's just gonna tear us apart. Since Ornn's disabled, I'm not going to try to even list him. But he did get some buffs. Could be a good top laner, but forget it. We'll worry about this another time. Assuming that Pantheon can be played in both top, jungle, and mid, he's shit everywhere. And he's better than Aatrox. He's definitely better than Kindred. Hey, what's up, Onion? No, I think only Draven players will play Draven. It's like the situation that you'd want Draven. There are like better. I'm not even gonna bother listing Pantheon support. Y'all stoned. Okay. Yeah, aside from Hans, I'm not really sure, but we'll have to worry about that another time. Let's move on. Who was next on the list? It was Poppy, right? What would you guys say to Poppy being like the bottom of B? Guys, we're going alphabetical. Yeah, I think top of C is fair for top lane, but bottom of B is fair for jungle. Because I actually think Poppy jungle is not horrible. I'll put her over Gangplank, but under Nasus and Fiora, just because she's just a good all-around tank. And yeah, bottom of B is good. Just counterpick. Yeah, I think Kha'Zix is better than Kayn. Kha'Zix does do good into Kayn. Let's capitalize this so my OCD doesn't kick in. Quinn. Alright, strictly counterpick only. I mean, yeah, you are better than Kindred and Aatrox Quinn, my dude. C is for counter or cuck. Just like RF Legendary, cucked and always countered. Elise only S. Yeah, I think she's the only S tier jungler. Yeah, he is better in this meta, but he's situational for sure. He's good in some situations. You have to realize that the champions in S and A tier are like champions that are good in like 98% of situations. You know, like these are champions that are going to be good almost like every game, with very few exceptions. And like as you go down the list, it's the champions that are going to be good in less situations, if that makes sense. Like you're going to first pick Jarvan, you're not going to figure something out. Yeah, all the junglers suck in this meta. Have you considered that maybe it's not the champions, and maybe it's you? Just saying. Rakan, S tier. Like Rakan is good with like so many AD carries right now. No, I'm just joking, Tarzan. Don't worry about it. Ivern in the jungle, I have him listed already. Where he at? There he is, Ivern. I think Rakan is S tier. Did you guys see the changes, by the way? Like, he actually got an ultimate buff. His ultimate got buffed. It's such a low cooldown. What the fuck? Like, the best engage in the game. The best engage in the game got buffed. Yeah, okay, the collision ratio is a little less, but it doesn't matter. A little bit clunkier. This is a slight change in later game, but I don't think this changes too much. I think Rakan is still crazy good. Okay, let's assume that Ram's only a jungler. I heard that he's decent into Ezreal jungle, legitimately. Let's put him on the top of the bottom of C. Rek'Sai. I like Rek'Sai in mid B or low B. Like below Nunu, below Poppy, because Poppy's good. She's still good for what you want her for. Like early game pressure, a tank. But I wouldn't say that she does anything better. She's just okay. Like, the Rek'Sai player's still going to want to play Rek'Sai for what she does, because they're good with it. Renekton, I think, is definitely A tier. Rek'Sai Sejuani most picked at Worlds. Yeah, I think I can agree with that. I think Gragas is still good. A lot of teams are still going to want to play Gragas. Renekton, I think Renekton is above Cho, above Maokai. Yeah, the nerfs are kind of bad, but I think he's still going to be good. I mean, do you guys agree with the Renekton in A tier? Because he's still, like, the best laner when Gnar isn't around. And he has a good matchup into Jarvan, and Sho, and Maokai, and Galio, and Jace, and Camille. Jace is situational. Jace is just situational, and only good Jace players will play it. I like Renekton in A. Top of A, I think, is a good place to put him. You'd put Sho and Mao above Renekton. I can... Okay, so... here's the thing, I actually don't think Renekton even scales that badly anymore. Like, the itemizations do work for him. I like Renekton at the top of A. I think he deserves to be there. Rengar. He did get buffed. The 3 armor. I mean, now Rengar's unkillable. I mean, this is a huge change. Like, this changes... Like, this changes... Wait, where'd he go? Fuck, where's Rengar? Wait, I can't find him. Rengar? There he is. This changes everything. This changes everything. No, okay. I like upper C. I like the upper parts of C for sure. But where above what? I like it above Olaf. Yeah, Rengar above Olaf I like it here. I'll put Rengar above Olaf there. That's fine for me. Let's make the font smaller so that you guys can see everything. Let's make it 12. 12, by the way. And... Okay. Yeah. I think Rengar could be actually decent. Hello there. Welcome. Riven, assuming that Riven's only a top laner, she's like bottom of C. Like, a good Riven player is going to do well with her. But besides that, I don't think that any of these champions in D are better than Riven. I also don't think that any of these champions in C are worse than Riven. Rumble's A tier for sure. I mean, I don't need to explain why. Rumble is fucking strong. As a jungler, bottom of C. I'll fix the ordering around later for Rumble and C. But I think this is fine. Rumble A tier for sure. And C tier jungler. Yeah. This is a competitive tier list. Where are you at? We just did Rumble Rise. So here's the thing, right? Rise did get a buff. I know this might seem like a massive buff, but we need to calm down a bit. The thing is, like, Cassio got nerfed in the Roa and the non-Roa build. Orianna and Syndra took nerfs earlier in the month. Rise is good into LeBlanc, Corki, and Lucian, and Aurelion Sol, and Echo. So in reality, Rise should actually be a lot better. Without testing, I'm confident enough to put Rise here. Just because he's still a slow champion. Rise good at the tanks, man. He has consistent damage. And he's a great side laner. So, yeah. Rise can be played by good Rise players. And guess who we have going to Worlds? Faker, Caps, BDD, Frozen. Like, there's a lot of good Rise players at Worlds. Perks Rise. Okay, let's calm down. Bjergsen. Bjergsen's an insane Rise. Actually. I'm confident to put Rise in B. I don't know, do we have any good mid laners in this chat? We only have like a shit tier jungler and a shit tier top laner. So I think we're okay with Rise on B. Okay, Tarzan, you said Sejuani deserves to be S tier, and you know what? I am going to agree with you. Gragas and Jarvan both took nerfs, and Sejuani is the best tank jungler on the patch. She makes every 2v2 top just so strong. Like, Sejuani Jarvan is disgusting. Sejuani Renekton is disgusting. Sejuani Jace is disgusting. Sejuani Camille. Sejuani whatever. She forces mid laners to take cleanse. Sejuani S tier for sure. Another champion that should be deleted. Yeah, she was a beast, and then the others got nerfed, and she's the same. Here's the thing, right? I pressed, as soon as the patch notes came out, right? As soon as they came out, I pressed Control F. Sejuani. And I thought to myself, well, there's no nerfs to Sejuani? Okay, well, definitely there's going to be nerfs to, like, Ardent Sensor. Oh, wait, no, there isn't. Oh, don't worry, guys. There's definitely going to be nerfs to Tristana. Yeah, there were nerfs to Tristana, actually, so that's fine. Sejuani on S is fine. I don't think anyone disagrees with that. Shaco blows. Shaco, I mean, he's still better than Kindred and Aatrox. Like, at the end of the day, like, we're talking about how shit these junglers are. But, like, at least they're not as bad as Aatrox and Kindred, right? Like, at least they're not as bad as Aatrox and Kindred. Let's assume that Shen is only to... no, the Rakan nerf is not big. Let's assume that Shen is only going to be played top lane, since no one's stupid enough to play my Shen jungle. And I think Shen is bottom of A, up of B, because he's actually really strong, great for playing bot side. I mean, we haven't hit Thresh yet. He's like... we're going alphabetical order, so let's relax. I think Shen is, what would you say, RF? Like, this is actually your time to actually be useful for once. Would you say it's at the bottom of A? Or above B somewhere? Ornn is disabled for Worlds, so we won't be tiering him. I like him at the bottom of A. There's still going to be champions going to be added. We'll return to Shen later. Shyvana as a jungler is just a farm jungler. It's probably better at it than Hecarim. Probably better than Mundo as well, and a Mumu. But nothing beats Master Yo-Yo. As a top laner, I mean, alright, you can be a bot as well. No, Shyvana's not going to be played at Worlds. Yeah, D for sure. Chances Diamond Prox pulls out the Shiv. Dude, if Diamond Prox plays Shyvana, I will shave my head. If Diamond Prox plays Shyvana, I will shave my head. Wait. Before someone clips that. If Diamond Prox plays Shyvana in a game that matters for Gambit. So if they're like 0-5 and out of the tournament and he plays Shyvana, it doesn't count. If he plays Shyvana in a serious match that actually matters for Gambit, I will shave my head. Okay? Alright. Singed, assuming it's a top laner. Is Looper going to Worlds? No. So, I think Singed is like... Yeah, let's just put him right below here. He's fine. He's okay. Next up is Scion. Yeah, it's good into Jax. Singed is fine into Jax. Scion's support is right at the top of shit tier. And Scion as a top laner, like, in any situation, why would you want Scion when there's, like, Mundo and stuff? He did get buffed, though. So maybe above Kale? What do you guys think? Yeah, let's put it there. No, guys, don't fucking at Diamond Prox. Stop. Sivir. I think it's A tier below Kog'Maw, Ashe, and Varus. She's just a good wave clear champion. She's good into like Tristana and Xayah. We may see a lot of Sivir at Worlds, but she's not blind worthy. Skarner, assuming that it's a jungler, is maybe bottom of C. I like it, bottom of C. Sona as a support. 1 second. Sona as a support. Maybe just here. Soraka. As well. Swain as a mid laner. I think bottom of C is fine. And as a top laner, I mean, since Quas isn't at Worlds, I'll put him ahead of Lissandra. Let's do that. I don't think Swain is that good. Okay, and I think Syndra's like the next S tier support. Like, of all the matchups, the only thing that does remotely great into Syndra is Galio. This is a competitive tier list, not a solo queue tier list. Syndra, I think, is top of S because of the Cassio and Lucian nerfs. I mean, I don't need to explain why. It's got the most outplay potential. So, does anyone disagree with Syndra being S tier? I'm probably going to have to ask some mid laners to come here, but I really don't see Syndra being A. Like, at the very... I'm just, like, deciding... is Orianna better than Syndra? Because, like, I really think Orianna's God tier. But, is Syndra better than Ori? Because Syndra does good into Ori. But, like, you see, like, so many people don't know. Ori's better, Syndra's better. The thing is that Syndra... Okay, you know what? I will concede. Ori is better than Syndra. I like it. I'll do it. We're doing it, boys. We just did it, boys. We changed the world. We changed the world together. We did it, guys. Syndra has a better laning phase after 4. Okay, we're gonna need some OS Frog spam in chat now, please. OS Frog spam in chat for the Tahm Kench placement. I think tier A. Super good support. Bond of Stone means you can actually go. Isn't your name Ram, like Ram Noodles? Yeah, it's Ram. I think A is good for Tahm Kench. He's really strong, decent laning, good roaming potential. Yeah, like a lot of the Korean teams and EU teams actually favor Tahm Kench a lot. I like him on A, for sure. Talia. Is Aurelion Sol a better Talia or is Talia a better Aurelion Sol? Is the real question. Wait. You think it's S tier? No. I don't think it's S tier. I think it's... Let's say bottom of A. I think bottom of A, yeah. Like, I like all these other champions better than Talia. Talia is definitely A. Yeah, in solo queue. That's because that's all you play, Tarzan. Because you rage quit the last scrim you played. No offense. But I like Talia as A. The meta nerfs changed her a bit. She still got good push, but like all these champions except Galio are good into Talia. Yeah, the nerf. I think the nerf is significant. Like she was S tier. Talon. I mean, Exile is not at Worlds, but Faker is, and Faker is a Talon player. I'd say he's above Malzahar, or maybe he's above Ari on C. I think he's high C for sure. B is already pushing it, I think. Let's move on. Taric. I think... I like this placement for Taric. I mean, he's got good sustain. He goes Ardent. He's good into Braum, and he's decent into Thresh. I think middle/bottom of B is a good place for Taric. The thing is, like, his laning phase is kind of garbage against some of the other matchups. So I think bottom of B is middle of B is good for Taric. Or maybe... Would you guys swap Taric and Lulu's places? I think, like, that's what I'm considering right now. Bard is good into Taric because if he ults, you Bard ult. Lulu is better than Taric. Yeah, I am high. Kennen is super underrated as a support. Because everything else above is better. Lulu is low on your list because I don't think Lulu is that good. I think she's good in the situations that you want to pick her, but those situations are far and few. Like Janna's a better Lulu in my opinion. For competitive, I don't think Lulu's supposed to be A tier. Kennen's engaged. Lulu's way more situational. Yeah, Blitz is played as a counter to Thresh. But I think Blitz at the bottom of A is much better. Can we just like not list Teemo? Like I really want to skip this, and I don't really have the mental fortitude to think of a like legitimate place to put Teemo. Like, is that okay with you guys? There's not going to be any like, Swift Rage in the chat. Yeah, of course, everyone's got to. Let's move to Thresh, and I really do think Thresh is S tier. I mean, if you disagree with me, then you're probably a shitty Thresh player. Like, good Thresh players are still going to carry the games. Thresh Kalista is disgusting. Thresh is good into Tristana, which is a top tier AD carry right now. S tier for sure. Tristana. Now, a lot of people were saying that they think Tristana is not as good. I think Kalista is above Tristana, but Tristana is S tier. I mean, yeah, I would definitely like change that actually. Thresh Recon. Yeah, S below Kalista I think is right. Yes, but she's still disgustingly strong. It just means that the counters like Sivir Cog are going to be better into Triss now. But she's still going to be a ridiculously good pick. Have a good night, guys. Trundle. Support, I like him at the bottom of B. And as a top laner, I also like where would you guys put Trundle in top lane? I'm not doing Trundle jungle. See, yeah, but see where? I like him more on the bottom of B than I do like him in C. I'll put him above Kled. I like Trundle better more than Kled actually. No, Trundle here is actually right. I think it's much better here. Let's move on. Cannon, AP Cannon, yeah, it's shit, but it's better than Trundle because it does good into Trundle. Isn't C for counter? Not necessarily. Trundle is just an overall good pick, and it's a flex. And Trundle's actually good into like Mao, Cho, Renekton, Jarvan, Galio. Tryndamere is like a bot tier. I really think that it's just slightly worse than Shyvana, but it's better than Garen. Hello? Popo 32. Twisted Fate actually might not be as shit as people think, but it's got so many bad matchups, and it's like, why would you play TF when Talia and Aurelion Sol and Galileo exist? No, I don't think he'll be played Trundle jungle. I think TF deserves to be in C tier above Ezreal. Or maybe let's swap Fizz and Ezreal. Put Fizz above Ezreal, yeah. And then Twisted Fate here. Like, I think the middle of C is good place for TF. I'm not doing TF jungle. Nah, Kali's a bot champion, dude. Actually, I could actually see a Kali being C tier, a D tier. A Kali. Twitch. Twitch. Bottom of A? Anyone disagree? I think Twitch is like bottom of A for sure. Super strong AD carry right now. Great into side laners. Scales super well. Good team fighting. Twitch is the best AD carry according to Skara. Well, he's just wrong. I think bottom of A is a good place for Twitch. Actually, let's swap this around. Twitch is definitely above Sivir, and then I swap Ashe and Sivir around. Yeah, I think this is much better. Yeah, I like this a lot more. Udyr. It's garbage. Might actually be worse than Kindred. No, wait, Callista's still going to bully the shit out of Twitch, man. Next up, Urgot. I actually haven't seen a single competitive Urgot, so I don't know where to put him. And I will skip him because I actually really don't know where to put him. Maybe like bottom of C or like middle of C, above Mundo, above Kale. Well, let's do that. Low B. Darth Laser says low B. I'd say you're stoned, my dude. I'd like to have what you're smoking. It's the fucking strong stuff. I think. Yeah, let's do Urgot here. Okay, this is going to get me some hate, but I want you all to, like, bear with me for a second. I think Varus is at the bottom of S tier. Now, hold on, before anyone shoots me. Varus, out of all the 80 carries besides Callista, has one of the strongest laning phases in the game. He's got a great ultimate for burst damage. He actually scales super well. As a team fighting AD carry. The only problem is he's got low range. No, put the guns away. Put the guns away. Let me talk for a second, okay? He's got a ridiculously strong laning phase. He's not a shit version of Ashe. He's actually stronger than Ashe. Maybe S is pushing it, but I think A tier is fine. He's really like strong utility. No, RF, put the gun down. Yeah, I knew it would be controversial for me to put Varus S tier. Below Cog, I'm not sure about that. If I'm gonna put it below Cog, I'm gonna put it below Sivir then, because Twitch is also pretty good. I think Varus is good. I think it's just a strong pick. It does a lot of damage to tanks as well. Vayne. Even it's like the difference is like, okay, so if I don't have Prototype on my team, I think Vayne is like low D. And if I have Prototype on my team, then it's low E. You know? Like, if I have Prototype, it just gets much worse. I actually have to think about this one. I might just have to make a tier list. Situational. Like, I'm really not sure where to put Vayne. Because, like, there are some Vayne players at Worlds who are probably going to pull it out and do well. And there are actually some situations I know Vayne is good that I actually can't discuss on stream because it's a team strategy. So I'm going to put Vayne in situational. Let's assume that Veigar's a mid laner at primarily... see, maybe Veigar here. And a support... load, maybe Veigar. Yeah, I think D for Veigar. Vel'Koz is a counter pick only, but he's actually really strong in what the situations you play him. I'll put him on top of C or the bottom of B. Next up, Vi. I really think Vi is so shit. Probably above Mundo. Red buff Vi. Actually, XG9 has to be blocked on Twitter. Broken Shards Vi. Yeah, that Vi qualified to LCS with a better record than you, RF Legendary. So... Wasn't I 5-0 against you last time I was in NACS? Literally 5-0? Huh. Let's see. Victor, I definitely had him way too low. I think there is a situation where he could be low B. He's just like a worse Oriana. Like high C, low B, but I think low B is better because there are more Victor players at Worlds. What tier would you put Red Buff in? I'd put it right below how teams with RF Legendary don't do well in that tier. With what pros did you discuss your tier list? I'd prefer to keep that private, obviously. Like, some of the pros are actually at Worlds, and they can't really... I can't really say, because their priorities could, like, share information that shouldn't be shared. So I don't really want to talk about who the pros are. Just a couple of LCS pros and the Challenger Series pros messaged me to give me their feedback, and that was really nice of them. Vladimir's a weird choice. Because I actually don't think he's that shit. But he's, like, not amazing. I think Vladimir's above Talon. On C. Thinking about it. Well, Wonderwear talked to me, actually. He's not at World, so I could say he did. I think it's the highest C. I think high C is fine for Vladimir. I like him there. Volibear as a jungler is like... I mean, look at all these shit junglers. Victor's actually good into Vlad, so... I think Warwick is B. Like above Rek'Sai. Wukong! Let's assume that Wukong is a top laner first, in which case it's literally hot trash. It's probably better than Akali, though. People forget that Victor has, like, the most ridiculous trades as well. Let's put Wukong in jungle as legit hot trash tier. Below Mordekaiser. Wait, is that how you spell his name? Is it Wu with a thing, Kong? No, it's not. There's no apostrophe. It's just Wu. Xayah S tier. I mean, like, I think that Xayah is S tier for sure. Without a doubt. I don't really need to explain why. She's just good in almost all stages of the game. Probably the safest pick, like where Tristana's good in the early game. Tristana's better in the late game, then Xayah is like good at all stages of the game. I like it there. No, I think this is fine for Xayah. No, I think Xayah's S. I really do think Xayah's S, because Xayah Rakan. Xerath, where would I put him on mid laners? This is kind of difficult, huh? Let's put him below Lux but above Kog'Maw. Sinzal as a jungler. It's just another farm jungler. He's probably better at it than a Mumu and Vi. So Yasuo, strictly as a counter pick, but not a really good one. We might see it into Jace and into Jarvan. Sorry, Jarvan Gnar. Let's maybe here. No. Yorick as a top laner. Again, it's just like another one of those gimmicky split pushers. D tier. Zac as a jungler. Maybe just below Cho. What do you guys think? I think that's fine. Twitch jungle will not be played at Worlds. Zed is really garbage. I mean, that's kind of what happens when you get nerfed like 4 patches in a row. I don't think Zac is good. It's not B tier. Is Tarzan still in here? Like, he'll vouch. I don't think Zac is good at all. Zac B? What? Alright, but I'm not putting him anywhere near the top of B. No, I really think Zac is C. I think he's way too weak in the early game. A lot of the other tank junglers are just better. Poppy is way better than Zac. Poppy's a counter to Zac. Poppy is a counter to Zac. All right, we're almost done here, boys. Zed is garbage, so it's D. But Warwick is a great early game jungler. Is actually so good into Rek'Sai. Yeah, Janna's B. Competitive. Yeah, but like, why would you play Zed when you can play Talon? Ziggs. Probably above Heimer and Kog'Maw, but below Xerath. Zillion support. It's not as garbage as Veigar and Lux. Xerath outranges Ziggs. Xerath outranges Ziggs. More consistent. Ziggs is kind of just like meh. And Ziggs 80 carry, I'll put him on E. He can be our only E. Zyra support. Probably C. After the changes to Frostfang, I could see it being decent now. Okay, guys. Okay, guys, let's do this. Now, what we need to do... What we need to do now is we need to... We need to list all of these in the order that they're meant to be. Okay? Let's start with top. Jarvan over Gnar. Do we all agree on this? Okay. Renekton over Cho over Mao over Rumble over Shen. I think this is fine as well. Galio over Jace over Camille. Actually, I'm going to put Jace at the top of B. No, Maoka is not better than Cho because Cho is good into Mao. I think Jace is top of B. Jason, Camille, Trundle, Kled. And then, like, after that, like, these really don't matter. Yeah, actually, I think Jax over Camille could be good. I can actually understand that. Galio going lower. I'm happier with this. Shen's up here. Shen's an A. Don't worry, man. We don't forget Shen. Alright. Why pick Gragas top over jungle? I mean, you won't. But Gragas actually is definitely worse than Galio. There you go. I haven't tested. Okay, let's move on to jungle, guys. Elise, Sejuani, Jarvan, Gragas. All agree? No, Elise is better than Sejuani. Much better early game jungler. Now, this is B. B is where it gets tricky. No, Jarvan's better than Gragas. Lee, Maokai, Nidalee, Iron, Ezreal, Kha'Zix, Nunu, Poppy, Warwick, Rek'Sai. Yeah, the only reason I put Lee up here is because I do think actually people are going to play Lee. Ivern is better into more situations than Nunu, but Nunu is good into Ivern. I'd rate Nunu over Ivern. Why do you like early game so much? Because you can actually win the game in the first 10 minutes of the game. And these junglers can do that. Like, these junglers force lanes to play bitch, which gives priority. Like, I think after B tier, no, I don't think you can. You can ult Poppy W. I think after B it doesn't matter. Like, these are all pretty like meh junglers. Mid laner. This is the one that I think I'm going to get the most flack for, but let's look at it anyway. I could see Rek'Sai being higher. Maybe Rek'Sai up here. I like that more. No, Orianna, Syndra are the best because Cassio actually gets nerfed with a new Abyssal Mask build. Cassio, Lucian, Corki, Galio, LeBlanc, Talia, Aurelion Sol, Echo, Kassadin, Ryze, Vel'Koz, Victor. I think those are fair, and I like the way that looks. Everything else like C, D, E just doesn't matter. In fact, I'm even considering just removing E tier altogether and adding Kali brand here. The thing is, I think Ori's just a better blind than Syndra, and Ori is better into more situations. Yeah, she's better late game, but Orianna's actually good late game too. So, Kalista, Tristana, Xayah. I like that a lot. Varus, Kog'Maw, Twitch, Sivir, Ashe, Caitlyn, Jinx, Jhin, Misfortune, Draven, Lucian, Ezreal, Ziggs, Vayne, situational. I don't think Kassadin's too high. I think Kassadin has good matches into a lot of the priority mid laners right now. No, I actually think Jinx is a lot more useful than Jhin. Sivir is worse than Kog Varus, yeah. Maybe Varus goes lower, actually. Maybe Varus here? No, I think Ezreal in D tier is fine. I think it's a pretty shit AD carry, because crit's still useful. And the thing is, like, all these AD carries up here can actually build crit. Varus S tier. Okay, stop. 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 Yeah, Sivir's good against Trist. Is okay into Xayah, but everything else kind of shits on her. So she's not the best AD carry in the situation. She's just situational. Support. Alistar, Thresh, Rakan. I like that. Maybe Lulu can go up, actually. And Braum can go just... And... yeah, maybe like this. I think this is better now. I like this. Yeah, Lulu B for sure. This is competitive, by the way. I don't give a shit what's good in your silver elo where the supports are all only expected to press E on someone, but Lulu is better than Blitz. You're fucking stoned, my dude. Lulu's better than Blitz when Blitz actually counters. Because Kennen is super good with Kalista, and he's got like interesting situations where he can be really strong. Haha. I think the flex potential of Kennen is something that can be somewhat underrated, but maybe Kennen is actually a bit worse than Taric and Trundle. Like Kennen's good into Alistar. Kennen's good into Lulu. Kennen's good into Bard is good into a lot of like the other supports. I don't think Karma mid is that good at all. Where do I even have Karma mid? Where's Karma? Did I delete Karma? Oh, there she is. Bottom of C. Yeah, I think that's fine. Top C? Maybe. Maybe above Ahri, below Talon. Karma support is just objectively weak because it doesn't do much in lane. And it's like not a strong laner, and it's not a strong... Does Ken support go full damage? No, you go like Righteous Glory. And just like look to do CC. Scion Fiddlesticks. Yeah, I think we've got everything. Are you guys happy with this list? Echo is better into more situations than Kassadin, but actually I can swap Echo and Kassadin around. Karmi? Oh, it's Karma. Okay, everyone quickly look for typos. Echo's still good into Syndra, yeah. Still got a lot of push pressure. Okay. Let's post this on Twitter and wait for the silver people to say that Lulu should be S tier because they 1v9 every game with it in silver elo, and I'm 12 by the way. You guys, okay, let's save as revision 1 tier list. Now that we're done with that, let's go watch some porn. Seems good. Do you guys want to do you guys want to do a solo queue tier list? I mean, I've been streaming for like an hour and 45 minutes. I'm tired. I'm 12, by the way. Gotta drink some water. Stay hydrated, guys. Oh shit! Just spilled water everywhere. Fuck. That's just water. Stay hydrated, Rose. Two hours. 2 hours of talking and analyzing and thinking. The thing is, like, Last Shadow does like his tier lists where it's like, let's do a Last Shadow tier list. LS tier list, okay? Okay, S tier, Annie, shit tier, Olaf, situational, Yu-Gi-Oh references. Like, this is a Last Shadow tier list right here. This is like the skeleton of like a Last Shadow tier list. I actually like LS's tier lists, and I understand why he puts Annie as S tier though, because it's such a simple champion that you just can't fuck up on it, you know? Nick, Last Shadow, don't call me Last Shallow, my name is LS, the Caesar Salad Cesar. Anivia is at least A. No, she's not. She definitely is not tier A. Lisa Rockabali. This is why I don't like people like you, Birwa, because I'm just making jokes at like a colleague, someone who I consider and who I hope considers me just like a friend and an associate, and you assume that jokes are me being salty when I'm not really salty. LS makes good content. There's a reason why his content gets more views than mine. because he's been doing it for longer and he provides quality content. But I mean, you have to agree that there is a pattern in which Annie is S, Olaf is shit, and there are Yu-Gi-Oh references. I don't have poker chips, so I can't like. You're being mean, Ram. Bible thump. It's the problem with people these days. No one knows how to take a joke. I should edit this video, put it on YouTube, get some hashtag views. So I'm pretty happy with this being the first revision. After play-ins, before play-ins, I'll probably do one more revision, and then after play-ins, after we've actually seen games, I probably do another revision. Don't you guys think? Like, don't you guys think that like a revision after play-ins would be nice? Like, then we can actually see what teams are picking. Would be pretty cool. Ah, shit, people in chat. Doing a streamed revision or solo? I will always stream it. I always like to talk to people while I do it. I might invite people to do it with me. But yeah, it will be streamed. It's so much easier to do it when you're like able to bounce ideas. Like, even with you guys. Like, there are lots of you who have never played a competitive game of League in your life. Haha, Silver, by the way. But you guys can still provide some, like... You guys can say something, and like even if it's like completely stupid, it's still going to make me stop and think. Like, as a coach, as an analyst, I need to like always listen to what you have to say and think, wow, that's really stupid. But what if even a little bit is right? You know what I mean? A world's prediction? I already do it. Can you announce like 24 hours before you do it? Now here's the thing, right? All of this stuff is going to be put on YouTube, and it's just like Ram Rants or Ram Runs It Down, whatever. So you can always just check it out on YouTube as well. So I will actually post this on YouTube under a Ram Rants video. Don't you guys like it? So like, there's Ram Reviews, right? Ram Runs It Down. And I don't actually run it down in mid. And then there's Ram Rants. And this is, in my opinion, a Ram Rants. Ram Rants revising the tier list. And it isn't going to be anything special. I'm just going to upload this entire video, just like rip it from Twitch and put it on YouTube. Like, I don't really care too much about the editing. I don't like editing my videos too much. I really don't even know how to. So Ram Runs It. Jesus Christ. So it's all going to be on YouTube. So you can go check that out. My YouTube will have an actual URL soon. It's got 130 subscribers. I'm raking in that YouTube money. And it's actually September, so you guys should sub. Link the YouTube. Zeus Pirate just subscribed with Twitch Prime. Holy shit, that was easy. Sub hype! Zeus Pirate, thank you so much for subscribing. Welcome to the Jew crew. Enjoy your stay, my friend. Stay kosher. That's your shekels, mate. Fuck. I've actually been streaming like almost every day this offseason, so there's actually some value to being a sub now. Yeah, the Jew crew. Oh. Oh well. Alright, I'm gonna go upload this video to YouTube. I guess I'll announce the next revision at 24 hours in advance so people can be here. Follow me on Twitter. No, I'm not the Red Canids coach anymore. I'm a free agent. If you have a job for me, Oh, by the way, guys, if you're interested in private coaching as well with me, you guys should check out my Gamer Sensei page. It's $25 an hour for a coaching session with me. If it's your first session with me, I'll throw in an extra 15 minutes. And on top of that, if you use the code BrokenShard, you actually get a discount. Code BrokenShard, just code BrokenShard. And you get special discounts, special prizes as well. So, I mean, please check that out. It helps me a lot. Play like a donor, is that cool? No, it's not okay. And we can do whatever you want in the coaching session. Though at the end of the day, I hope you become a better player. Alright, that's going to be it for me. Thanks for watching, guys. Follow my social media, follow my YouTube, follow my Chatterbait, and see you guys later. This video will be on YouTube.